This is Miss Teresa, and you're watching YurpTV.
Yeah, this is Dedan Waciuri, you watching YurpTV.
Ooh, ah, yeah, yeah, ooh, oh. Ooh, ah, yeah, yeah, ooh, oh. Na, 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 na. Oh, ah, oh. Ain't no stopping me. That's how it gotta be. I'm a hot commodity. That's how it gotta be. Ain't no stopping me. Oh, how it's gotta be. Oh, hot commodity. How it's gotta be.
Dedan.
What's going on, bro?
Miss Teresa.
Hey.
How y'all doing, man?
All right.
Welcome to YurpTV, Miss Teresa. Dedan, welcome back to YurpTV.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? We had a nice little interview, man. Numbers went up on that one, man. Got some good feedback, right?
Yeah, that's what's up.
Well, what people say to you after that, man?
Man, a couple people hit me up, see how they can get involved.
Word.
A couple people, said they appreciate what I be doing and stuff like that. So good feedback, positive feedback. So I appreciate the opportunity.
You already know.
What I mean? Be on the platform.
You know what's going on.
Yeah.
How you doing today, Miss Teresa?
I'm doing fine. And you?
I'm good. So, since you've never been on the show before, let's get a little backstory about you. First, where you from?
Washington, North Carolina.
Word, Washington. Born and raised?
Huh?
Born and raised?
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me a little bit about growing up for you. How was that?
I was adopted.
Okay.
And I was adopted in Beaufort, North Carolina.
Okay.
And moved to Chapel-Winneted.
Gotcha.
And then moved to Washington.
Okay. So, how was life growing up adopted? Was it rough for you?
Well,
Did you have a loving family?
I loved it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
When I got old, I went back to them. Yeah, they treat me as I'm their own. Yeah.
That's what's up. Tell me how you and Dedan got involved before all. Did y'all know each other before what we about to discuss?
We didn't.
Okay. So he just reached out to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
The coalition.
Yeah, Dedan a good brother out here, man. I see what he doing. Respect his movement and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and jump into it. So we're here today, you know what I'm saying, in remembrance of your son, right?
Yeah, Cedric.
Okay. Would you mind to run down the story?
October the 18th, October the 21st, 2018. My son got shot and murdered by an officer in Beaufort County, Washington, North Carolina. He tried to say it was like because he noticed he didn't have license. I'm like, I don't understand how you can get shot and killed in the back running away because not having license.
You wasn't armed or anything?
No.
So let me ask you the details of the story. Did the police actually say what happened?
No.
You never gave an explanation for real?
I haven't talked to anyone at the police department.
Yeah, police never reached out. If you don't mind me saying, police they never reached out to Miss Teresa.
They never talked.
They gave their side of the story.
What was their side?
What led up to the event? Their side of the story was that Cedric, her son, was driving a car that was notoriously known in Washington, North Carolina, to be used by various drug addicts or people that make narcotic sales, supposedly from what they say. And the officer on that murdered Cedric said he seen Cedric driving the car, and for one, he said he knew that Cedric didn't have a license, right? That's what he said, and he was suspicious about the car, right? And so what happened was he changed direction from where he was originally going to trail Cedric, and he trailed Cedric in a way where Cedric was driving forward down the street. I don't know the name of the street, but Washington Street, and Cedric was driving straight. And the police officer came from another route to cut Cedric off. He let Cedric drive by him, and when he let Cedric drive by him, then he proceeded to follow him. And he pulled Cedric over. And when he pulled Cedric over he murdered him, shot him in the back. From what Miss Teresa said, Cedric, because Miss Teresa had the opportunity from the SBI to see the video.
Wow.
And when she seen the video, she said as soon as Cedric left the vehicle to run away from the police officer, he was automatically shot in the back, just that quick.
Wow.
But from what the officer said, from the SBI report, they said that Cedric from the officer, from what he said directly, Cedric turned around and pointed a weapon at him, and he felt like his life was in danger.
But the camera didn't show that? The camera just showed him shooting.
Well, actually, the officer pulled behind him, and he had his gun ready. He had his gun on his side and had his hand already ready, like he was going to shoot him anyway.
Well, that's kind of procedure what they do when they pull you over these days when you black.
Yeah, everybody say, that's the procedure for a black person.
When you black, they already start reaching, you know what I mean?
I mean, it wasn't 2 seconds before he just shot twice.
So let me ask, what, since that incident, what have you guys done to bring that to the public forefront?
We've been having rallies and get-togethers. We trying to do other stuff to kind of bring the community out.
Okay. Do you feel like this is a situation that could happen to anyone?
Right. Yeah.
You do. What would you say to a mother who has lost her son due to gun violence from police or police brutality? What would you say to her? Some encouraging words, because I'm sure it's been tough to get through.
Yeah, I would actually let them know that the police ain't what we want. You know, all police ain't what they supposed to be. They supposed to help you, but a lot of times they don't do that. They do the opposite.
I feel you, yeah. Nobody deserves to get murdered, man, at a traffic stop. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just not even, you know what I'm saying? And every time I get stopped, I be prepared for the worst. You know what I mean? But I talk to them with respect because I'm trying to get up, trying to use their language to get up out of there. You know what I mean? Because I'm not really, when I was younger, I used to scream at the police when they pulled me over, but then things turned negative fast because they got more authority. And they exercise that authority. Dedan, what would you say, man, to people out here that's losing their lives to the police, their relatives, man?
Man, I mean, that's tough, you know, because I see it a lot, you know. Miss Teresa is tied in with another group of mothers from, we recently attended something in Raleigh, North Carolina, probably about a week ago, with a mother named Miss Rolanda. She lost her son to police violence, and probably, I think it was in 2016, maybe 17 or something like that. I don't know exactly, and I should, but you know, after a while, it just starts to just run into each other. But so that's what I think needs to be done when things like that occur. People such as Miss Teresa, Miss Rolanda, and other people that have been terrorized by local law enforcement have to find strength in one another to really, because I don't know the pain that Miss Teresa knows, and but Miss Rolanda does, you know, because she went through something the exact same. You know, her son was killed, you know, unarmed. He was killed by you know, law enforcement, by these terrorists. So it's very important that, you know, they find strength, you know, amongst themselves and with other people, and then and from the community as well. We have to support, you know, Miss Teresa and Miss Rolanda and these other people that's continuously being, you know, a victim of the state.
Why do you feel like this violence is perpetuated so much?
Like we said like we talked about, bro, it's colonization. That is the response. That is the duty of law enforcement, is to enforce law. It's not to protect and serve, like they say. You know, that's just what they say. But really, what they do is they enforce the law. And what's the law? The law is the status quo of, you know, the white power of the elite, the people that you know that own property, that own the means of things, that, you know, are you know, in control of, you know, what goes on a lot of times. And so the police protects that. Like, that's what they do. They're not worried about, I don't think, anything beyond that, you know. And so when it comes to the relationship between, you know, our communities and the police, it's a relationship not of, you know, we're here to help or we're here to serve, but a relationship of we're here to control and dominate over this community and over the people. And if you don't align yourself with what we say, then we will, you know, treat you with the utmost aggression. And that's what happens in our communities all across the U.S. And that's something that would continuously happen until that we understand that we have to organize and fight back when these things occur. Like, the people in Washington should be in an uproar. You know what I mean? Like, Washington should be on fire. You feel what I'm saying? I don't mean that, I'm not telling nobody to go out there and do anything like that, but I mean that metaphorically. Like, people should be, enraged by the way that, they're being treated by law enforcement in Washington, North Carolina. You had a young brother that was killed before Cedric in Washington, North Carolina, by the violent police force in Washington, North Carolina, when they thought that he was harboring drugs, and they choked him out. They put him in a coma, and he died as a result of that. And like, now this police officer, I heard, was promoted like to a lieutenant or something like that, on the task force or something like this. So this is the reality that we face, that we have to make sure that we have to speak out against. Because if we don't speak out, the people that live it every day, then the outside society is going to automatically attach themselves to the preconceived notions of, he was a thug, he was a drug dealer, he was no good. You see what I'm saying? He might have done something that led up to why, he met his end like that, which is never the case. What happened to Cedric Pritchard is the exact same thing. It's so similar to Walter Scott in South Carolina, when he was running away from the police officer, and then all of a sudden this police officer just started to shoot him in the back. Yeah. It's the exact same thing. So as far as what we have been doing in Washington, we try to create a movement. Miss Teresa, before I even met her, was already doing things on the ground. Miss Teresa was already fighting. So we was reached out to, and we just joined the movement. You know what I'm saying? We just are there to back Miss Teresa. Miss Teresa has been fighting. Miss Teresa and her family.
What's some of your what's your last memory you got of Cedric?
Clothes and pictures and his trophies.
You know what I'm saying? Like the last time you seen him. Like, well,
last time.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Last time I can't remember, but I do know that I had called him. Well, he actually called me that morning, that Sunday morning, and he asked me for his ID. And because he said he was ready to start a new job. So I took his ID and his Social Security card to his girlfriend's house. Because I called and he wasn't there. I thought he was upstairs asleep, but when I got up there, I kept calling. I said Cedric, and I called her name Tina. And when I got up there, there wasn't nobody there. And when I went there, I put his ID and Social Security card so he can get it when I called him back. So when I left, I called that number back that he used the phone from, and they said he won't round, but they'll let him know if they see him. So I called back. I had went back to my house, toward my house, and then I took somebody to the store. When I came back, went to the store to take them. I sat in the parking lot while they went in the store. And when as I was sitting in the store, his girlfriend called and she said they were shooting in town. She hoped it ain't Cedric. At that point, she hung the phone up. Then she called right back. She was like, it was Cedric. She said it was Cedric, and they said he got shot and killed. And so I went to town with my flashes on, and I got there, like it looked like everybody and their mama was there. And it seemed like I was the last one to get there. And I looked and seen my body on the ground, and I was looking, and I seen the shoes, the pants, and the sweater, and I was like, just Cedric. So at that point, the police or nobody never called me to tell me that it was him. And today, they never called and told me. They never apologized or nothing.
What was your initial, I don't want to seem like I'm barging in or trying to get a rise out of you, but you know what I'm saying, for somebody who hasn't felt this type of pain, what was your initial thought when you seen your son laying on the ground like that?
It was, my heart dropped. I mean, and they didn't even let me go over the line.
Really?
I couldn't go over the line.
So they didn't let you view the body and
nothing.
So at his funeral, y'all had a funeral, right? Mm-hmm. Did law enforcement show up?
Not as I know of. No.
So let me ask you, with the movement that you guys are starting, what do you hope to accomplish? What do you hope to accomplish with it in Washington?
To get justice, to get the officer fired and locked up. Yeah.
So that'll be your ultimate goal, is to get, you feel like that'll make you feel better if he was locked away?
I mean, the murderer, right? A murderer deserves to be in prison, right?
Well, I feel like murderers deserve to be murdered, but that's a different. I'm a different guy.
Some type of justice has to be served, right?
Yeah,
at the end of the day, so yeah, right.
I feel that. So, you with that as well, Dedan? You looking for justice for him as well?
Yeah, no. My main goal in around the Miss Teresa case is to receive what kind of justice that Miss Teresa wants, whatever it looks like. I'm gonna fight for Miss Teresa as hard as I can, to my fullest capacity. So whatever it looks like for Miss Teresa is what I'm gonna fight for. You know, so we have some demands, and we're gonna follow up with those demands. We would like for the video to be released, because it's on the dash cam video, and we had went to court. Y'all
signed to get it.
No, we went through that process. We went to that process. We went to court. Mr. Reese has obtained 2 great lawyers. I'll say that, and so we went to court. But the city is fighting back. What happens, she had a nice crowd. I think we had a courtroom full. Yeah, but it has to be a continual process. The people have to understand that, it's not going to happen overnight. You know what I mean? It has to be a struggle that, the community adopts. And so we just ask for people to get involved, to let people know that, in Washington, that we're not going to stop until, these things are dealt with. Because one of the things that the judge said was that he wasn't going to release the video on the level that we wanted to get released, so people in the community can really see how they murdered, not they, but him. He murdered Cedric, and he said that he wasn't going to release it because the community didn't show enough. What's the word he used? Concern about it. Not enough people came out. We had a courtroom full of people. You see what I'm saying? So this is the good old boy system in play, and that's what happens in North Carolina when you got people saying they fighting for body camera. What's good is a body camera when we see black people down on camera anyway? You see what I'm saying? It's not a liberating factor. They made it a law that now any body cam footage, whether it's body cam or dash cam footage, has to get released through the order of a judge. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So they might let us or let a family see the video, but I mean they're not letting the world, well, not the world, but they're not letting people know how sinister and how brutal they do, and they lie. They lie. They say Cedric had a gun. Cedric didn't have no gun. You see what I'm saying? I ain't have.
Never found a gun.
I ain't have no gun, bro. You see what I'm saying?
I have witnesses that said he didn't have one.
Yeah, witnesses that were at the scene.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, this seems like a tough case, man. The reason why it's so tough is because in North Carolina, people don't really fight. You know what I mean? They don't really fight towards these issues. It happens and it's game over. You know what I mean? That's like you said, it's happened a couple other times in North Carolina too.
Right.
And bringing awareness to the community is a big thing, man. What can people from the outside do to help out y'all's cause?
How you feel, Mr. Rick? What you want them to do?
I want them to come and help support me.
What would that include? Like come to the court dates?
I mean, like when I have rallies and stuff. I mean, Washington, a lot of them don't. I don't know why, but they don't come together like that. So I got people like him and people in Greenville and other places come support me, be there for me and them. So
I feel you. I hate that happened to you though, Miss Teresa. I couldn't imagine, you know what I'm saying, losing one of my sons to. I know it would be a different story for me because I'm going on a spree. You know what I mean?
Most people, it's easy for them to say stuff like that.
That's true. Till that happens. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. I haven't been in a situation, so I'm able to speak like that.
Right.
But like, I'm sure you probably thought that too before it happened.
Right.
You know what I mean? Then it happened and your whole world's upside down. So I don't mean, you know what I'm saying, disrespect you or anything like that, but from in my position, I know what's up, how I will feel.
Right.
But until it were to happen, though, I guess.
And it's all right to feel like that, and that's
Yeah.
I think that's the message we're trying to convey to people in the community. It's okay to have them feelings. Black people,
Right.
it's okay to be upset. It's okay to be outraged. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to go to the streets and let your frustration spill. When they shot a brother not too long ago in Raleigh, the people in Raleigh, they hit the streets. You see what I'm saying?
Even though it was later found out it wasn't what people said on the news and things like that.
We gotta look at
but
it.
they still hit the streets though.
Yeah, we gotta look at it differently. Black people are under attack. Black people in America are under attack. They said they are waging war on Black and Brown America.
But we attacking. I feel like we're attacked from all sides though. Like the music perpetuates certain lifestyle. Like you don't even have to be in that lifestyle, but if you're wearing what a rapper's wearing,
Right.
or a gang bear's wearing, banger's wearing,
Right.
you in the box with them.
Right.
That's how they looking at you.
I'm particularly talking about the police, right?
Respect.
You know what I'm saying? And when saying like they eventually found out it wasn't what they seemed like that rhetoric is sometimes what had like it's dangerous to the movement, because say like even if a brother did have a gun, just speaking hypothetically, right, in Raleigh, and he ran away. You see what I'm saying? He wasn't causing any harm to anybody. He wasn't, a threat to anybody because he was running away. He didn't physically have a gun out, while he was running, pointing at somebody like he was going to shoot. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The police always automatically shoot Black people first and then ask questions later. When it's not like that, the other side around. You see
I
what
heard
I'm
it was in law that they can do that too, though.
Man, but okay, so we got a question. Why is it that they don't do that to white people? Why they didn't do that to Dylan Roof?
Of course they
So
don't.
then we're beginning to understand this is a systemic attack on a certain demographic of people. You see what I'm saying? Like it's not everybody just open game. It's a certain demographic of people that's open game, and that's Black and brown people. That when they come in our communities, we always perceive as the immediate threat or the immediate gangbanger, or he probably a dangerous person. You see what I'm saying? They treat the police, local law enforcement, like a paramilitary force now. They train them that way. They equip them that way. So when they come in their community, they come in our communities ready for war, not ready to alleviate an issue. You see what I'm saying? They're ready to snub out whatever it is that they got going on. And so that is the question that we're dealing with. We don't need a militarized force in our communities. We don't need that. We don't need that. You know what I mean? And that is the question that we have to ask ourselves. Why is it that Black people are constantly attacked? And we pretty much know, because the system was designed that way. So then we have to ask ourselves, how do we combat that? And that's by organizing, coming together, joining the fight with Miss Teresa to say that, we want a board set in place that alleviates some of these things. And, just, working together to really fight back is what's needed. You know what I mean? We need Black people to understand that it's okay to fight back. Be mad as you want to. I'm not saying go out there and do nothing crazy, but it's not crazy to hit the streets and rally behind Miss Teresa and her family because her son was murdered by this terrorist. You see what I'm saying? That's not crazy. So
I feel that. Let everybody know where they can find you at on social media.
Teresa Pritchard.
Okay. That's on Facebook. I'm sure people will probably reach out after this and try to get in contact with you. Like Dedan said, people reached out to him, and even if it's a few, you know what I'm saying? Anybody helps.
Oh, yeah,
anything helps.
It all, yeah.
What about you, Dedan?
Dedan on Facebook. I think it's Dedan on Instagram.
Word.
Yeah, matter of fact, I didn't know that. You told me that. Yeah, so.
Dedan Waciuri.
Yeah, but yeah, no, we really encourage people. If you're tired of the things that going on in your community, man, you gotta play a part. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think sometimes people, they always look for a leader. Be your own leader. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Go out there and play the part, man, because if not, it's going to continue to happen. And we see it continuously happening.
I agree.
Every year. You see what I'm saying? Every year it's another body, it's another name. And it's unnatural. You see what I'm saying? Miss Teresa should not have had to bury her son at such a young age. It's unnatural. It shouldn't have to be that way. But it is that way because systemically, they get away with it. So we got to fight back. So
yeah, man, we definitely gonna continue to fight, man, even on the internet. So I appreciate y'all for tapping in. Miss Teresa, I'll stay in contact with you as well. Shout out my boy Dedan. I know he's gonna stay in contact with you.
Yeah.
We're gonna stay tapped in, man. This is a good dude, man.
And there's a Cedric Facebook page, right?
Yeah.
What's his Facebook?
Cedric Pritchard. Yeah.
How you spell that?
CEDRIC. PRITCHARD.
Okay, so you had his personal page or there's
that's
a memorial page?
Yeah, that's a page. Yeah,
I got you.
We don't even say, of course it's a memorial page. We don't. It's like an action page. We calling people to action. Like, that's where you can find out, various events, what we might need people to rally behind, what we might have going on, because we still rolling. We still trying to hold stuff in Washington. Right. We just want Washington people to be engaged and involved, because I'm not from Washington. I can't tell people from Washington about Washington like somebody from Washington can tell Washington, to me. So those are the people that should be leading the struggle. And Miss Teresa holding it down. Miss Teresa and her family is the ones holding it down. So
respect.
Yeah.
Appreciate y'all, man.
Yeah.
Make sure you go follow them on all their social medias, man. Tap in with the movement. If you're watching, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube, YurpTV 252. Make sure you also follow us on all our platforms to keep updated with the movement, because we're definitely going to keep updated as well. Make sure you follow all the platforms, tap in with all these people, and thank you for watching. Yerp!
What you doing, Quasi? Shit. Working on my bankroll. Trying to flip it cause I'm tired of the same mode. Getting richer on these niggas, that's my main goal. That's my main goal.